CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories.
So, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being willing and have the flexibility to start a half hour early. This morning, it's my pleasure to begin our proceedings with another University Spotlight video. This one takes us to Cal Poly Humboldt, where we are reminded of the incredible power of mentorship through 3 students' transformative experience. Would you please roll the video?
The mentor-student relationship is something that works both ways.
Mentorship, I think, is so important because it is a two-way street.
Yes, they're learning from me, but I'm also learning from them.
What I get out of the relationship is I get to work with these fantastic students. And I mean, Noah's a great example of just a truly fantastic student.
I do love a good adventure.
Starting at 4:30 in the morning, we had to sample before dawn. We worked in this special trace metal clean bubble that Noah helped build. I mean, he's seen all the parts of the project, the field work, the lab work, the data. I think that set him up well for whatever he wants to do going forward.
It's really special. I did not think that I would be here, honestly, doing all this stuff at least. You know, I feel like Clara's opened pretty much all the doors for that.
She has a passion for making a difference in the world.
He takes students on our excavations in Macedonia, like helping students believe in themselves.
Jessica's a good example of that. She is now the assistant program manager of the U.S. Macedonian Collaborative Field Program.
Nick and Barb, both of them have been mentors to me.
I almost get giddy, and it just, yeah, it's the reason I'm here.
I would say about Barb is her ability to like sit down with a student and foster curiosity.
They get passionate about the past, because without our past, we're going to have a hell of a future.
Sasheen Raymond from Elite Scholars is my mentor. I grew up in the foster care system. I bounced around from homes. I mean, I think I'll definitely be successful, 100%, but I think it will always be a part of my story. It will always be a part of my identity.
So Steph arrived, and once we connected, it was just amazing.
Her energy was so inviting and genuine, and she made me feel seen.
I really got to understand who she is as a person.
About a year ago, I was just kind of like in a dark place, and I was supposed to come to a shift for work. And I just texted her and let her know that I just wasn't doing well, and she came to my house.
We had a nice lunch.
Yes.
Went to the ocean. It was a good day.
And because of that, I was able to come back to school the next day.
It just really shows like how powerful not only the education is here, but the impact of our program and really making changes for students.
Thank you for believing in my work and for encouraging me.
It transformed my life, certainly my college experience.
And you feel like you can reach for the stars.
That was great. Thank you to the team at Cal Poly Humboldt for sharing those dynamic stories, and for the faculty and staff who are fostering curiosity and opening doors for the opportunity for these students. As we saw, mentorship is a two-way street. On that uplifting note, we will now proceed with today's agenda. We're going to pick off where we left yesterday. Trustee Rodriguez, would you please convene the Committee on Audit?
Yes, Chair, thank you so much. Will the Committee on Audit please come to order? Today, the committee has 2 items on the consent agenda and 1 item on the discussion agenda, with a total of 30 minutes set aside for presentation and discussion. It is now time to consider today's consent agenda. Does any committee member wish to remove an item for separate discussion? Okay. Is there any objection to the approval of the consent agenda? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Item 3 of the discussion agenda is an action item regarding the fiscal year 2026-27 audit plan. VC Mariniscu will present the proposed audit plan for the upcoming fiscal year, which I had the opportunity to review with him in advance. The plan reflects a comprehensive assessment of system-wide and university risks and priorities and highlights the value of the audit and advisory services and how it brings through its independence and system-wide perspective. These qualities are essential to how the division supports the board, promotes transparency, drives accountability, and continuous improvement in the system. And with that, please begin, Vlad.
Thank you, Chair Rodriguez. I'm waiting for the slides. Here we go. Today, I will present an overview of the proposed fiscal year 2026-27 audit plan and request approval from the Committee on Audit. The plan, as detailed in your agenda materials, is based on a comprehensive risk assessment process. It will guide our activities for the upcoming year and ensure that audit and advisory work is aligned with the most significant risks and opportunities facing the CSU. Audit and Advisory Services follows the Institute of Internal Auditors Global Internal Audit Standards, which guide the professional practice of internal auditing. The standards define the essential elements of the audit planning process, including conducting an annual risk assessment and using the results of that assessment to develop a risk-based audit plan aligned with the CSU's objectives. I will describe these elements in further detail, beginning with the risk assessment. The risk assessment process starts with a comprehensive system-wide review of risks and trends affecting higher education and the CSU. This includes evaluating emerging issues, consulting with system-wide leadership, and reviewing CSU system-wide strategic initiatives and institutional priorities. We also analyze relevant financial and regulatory data to inform the overall risk landscape. Through this review, we evaluate and prioritize more than 120 auditable topics. The top 25 topics are selected for further discussion at the university level. During the university risk assessment process, campus leadership provides input on the identified top risks, as well as institution-specific risks and strategic priorities. Auxiliary organizations are assessed separately, with consideration given to operational complexity, financial scale, leadership turnover, and prior internal and external audit results. I'll briefly highlight an important aspect of the system-wide risk assessment, our evaluation of broader risk themes in higher education. To ensure our perspective on risk is complete, we deliberately look outward. We review a range of external sources, including risk publication from major accounting firms, higher education associations, and audit plans from peer universities. These resources provide insight into the challenges facing higher education nationally, emerging risk trends, and how peer institutions are responding. Incorporating external perspectives helps ensure our risk assessment remains comprehensive, forward-looking, and aligned with broader trends across higher education. This slide highlights 5 risk themes that emerged consistently across the external sources we reviewed. While these themes are generally consistent over time, the underlying risks evolve as the political, regulatory, and economic landscape changes. These external risk factors are incorporated in our risk assessment, informing the development of a responsive and comprehensive audit plan. The high-level objectives of the audit plan reflect our dual role as an independent assurance function and a strategic partner to the organization. Providing assurance is central to our role, and the audit plan prioritizes the most significant and relevant risks to strengthen board and management oversight. The plan also supports the CSU's strategic priorities. Our work is aligned with system-wide initiatives, including CSU Forward, as well as the distinct strategic objectives of individual universities. In addition, the plan is designed to add value and foster continuous improvement by strengthening processes and improving the effectiveness of CSU operations. This This slide highlights the three key characteristics of the plan. First, it is risk-based. Given the breadth and complexity of CSU operations, it is not feasible to audit every risk area every year. Our approach prioritizes the most significant and relevant risks so that our resources are directed where they can have the greatest impact. Second, its development includes consideration of requests from management for advisory support, which may be incorporated in the advisory services plan. These often present opportunities to strengthen controls, improve processes, and proactively address emerging issues. Third, it remains flexible. We continuously monitor risk and adjust the plan as appropriate, communicating any material changes to the board. Getting into the details of the plan, this chart reflects our projected resource allocation to execute the audit plan based on estimated available staff hours and the division's current budget. While the allocation may shift in response to emerging risks, this distribution reflects our planned priorities and workload. The majority of our resources remain dedicated to assurance audits and data analytics, which together represent 60% of our capacity. Advisory services account for 25% of the plan, reflecting a 5% shift from assurance relative to the prior year. This shift is a direct response to increased demand for advisory support from management. We will continue to emphasize advisory support in response to management demand and in support of CSU Forward, while maintaining appropriate risk-based coverage within our assurance portfolio. Audit and advisory services core activities fall into two broad categories: risk-based and value-based. I will share key aspects of the audit plan, focusing on those shown in blue: assurance audits, data analytics, and advisory services. These are the areas of the annual plan for which we establish defined objectives and planned coverage at the start of the fiscal year. The activities shown in gray are ongoing functions performed as needed. Additional detail on these activities is included in the audit plan document. I'll begin with assurance. For fiscal year 26-27, we plan to conduct 50 assurance audits across the CSU system, including 2 follow-up audits to confirm corrective actions remain effective. The top university and system-wide level risks identified through our risk assessment drive the selection of audit topics shown here. The topics are grouped into 6 functional areas shown on this slide. Rather than walking through each individual topic, I'll provide an overview of the 3 broader groupings: core support, higher education specific, and auxiliary organizations. First, the plan centers on core support, administration and compliance, business and finance, and information technology. These represent fundamental operational activities common to large organizations. Sustained attention in these areas helps ensure essential controls and operations function effectively and consistently. Second, the plan addresses areas unique to higher education. Academic administration and student services are central to the delivery of academic programs and student success, and are routinely reviewed across higher education institutions. The final category is CSU auxiliary organizations, which represent approximately 15 to 20% of our assurance capacity. These audits are selected based on size, complexity, and other relevant risk factors. Overall, the audit plan aligns our focus to the most significant risks across the CSU's key operational areas. The audit topics within these 6 functional areas are also highly interrelated. For example, information security is a core support audit topic with implications extending across the CSU. In this way, potential for broader system-wide impact is included as a factor in prioritizing assurance resources, with the overall objective of providing the greatest value and oversight support to the board and CSU leadership. In addition to function and risk alignment, we ensure the audit plan is fundamentally aligned with the CSU's organizational strategy. Our audit plan supports key aspects of CSU Forward, including student success, operational excellence and innovation, and leveraging the system scale. This slide highlights audits aligned to those strategic priorities. I'll refer you to Appendix A of the audit plan for detailed descriptions of each topic, but I'll take a moment to highlight the work plan for AI governance. The CSU has taken important steps to position itself strategically through adoption of its AI strategy. As new tools and capabilities are implemented, appropriate governance structures must evolve alongside them. We plan to assess the CSU's AI governance framework as it continues to mature. This includes evaluating whether clear policies, oversight structures, and accountability mechanisms are in place to guide the responsible use of AI. We will also complete targeted reviews of AI-enabled tools, with attention to information security, data privacy, appropriate use, and decision-making control. Given the pace of innovation in this area, we will continue to monitor emerging use cases and adjust our approach as appropriate. More broadly, the AI governance audit and other topics highlighted here are selected examples that reflect how we align our work with CSU strategic priorities and risks, which is a consistent through line across the audit plan. Audit and advisory services leverages data analytics to enhance audit quality, improve efficiency, and provide meaningful insight across the system. Our analytics program is structured around two core components: direct support for assurance and advisory engagements, and continuous monitoring of key financial and operational data. As part of the audit plan, our data analytics team is expected to support approximately 40 assurance audits and advisory reviews. We will also continue ongoing analytics in the areas of travel, credit card, and payroll activity. A key focus for this year's plan is adapting our analytics to the CSU's newly implemented single instance of Concur, which consolidates system-wide travel and credit card data into a unified platform. This is a foundational change that will allow us to expand the breadth and depth of analytic coverage and to apply newly available AI-driven auditing capabilities. While assurance remains central to our mission, advisory work expands our ability to provide proactive insight and support CSU strategic priorities. Advisory services are a key component of our support to the CSU. Advisory engagements help management proactively identify and address risks and provide a collaborative forum for universities to seek guidance on audit readiness, including control design, compliance, and process efficiency. Advisory work supports continuous improvement by identifying opportunities for process optimization, cost efficiency, effective use of technology, and alignment with leading practices of peer institutions through benchmarking. We plan to perform approximately 20 advisory projects in the upcoming fiscal year. These engagements are informed by our risk assessment and are often initiated by university management, who request objective evaluation and targeted support for key priorities. As noted earlier, in response to growing demand, we have increased plan allocation for advisory services this year. In closing, today we have presented the fiscal year 26-27 audit plan and how it aligns with the evolving risk environment, CSU priorities, and relevant professional standards. Approval of the plan affirms our risk assessment approach, planned engagement activities, and intended resource allocation. We will execute the plan as presented while remaining flexible and responsive to emerging risks, and will report on our progress and any significant developments to the board throughout the year. Before I conclude, I would like to thank our partners at each university and the Chancellor's Office for their contributions and feedback throughout the risk assessment and audit planning process. I would also like to acknowledge the work of the Audit and Advisory Services Division staff. And with that, Chair Rodriguez, I conclude my presentation. Happy to answer any questions from the board.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for all of the incredible work. Before we begin to questions or discussion, I will first ask for a preliminary motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you. The fiscal year 2026-27 audit plan is an action item before the Committee on Audit. Only committee members may vote. Okay. Did we go for call for a vote? So can I have a motion? Yes? The
So
motion
moved.
as it is?
So moved, yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? All right, the item is approved. Is there any, we didn't have any discussion, or was there any questions? Yeah, we already voted. All right, good.
It was thorough.
That was fast.
He's back on time. Yeah.
Chair Clark, thank you. This concludes the Committee on Audit. Thank you, Vlad. That was amazing.
No, that was, thank you, Trustee Rodriguez, and that was very efficient. Let me see. In fact, we made up some time. This is wonderful. Trustee Gilbert-Laurie, would you please convene the Committee on Institutional Advancement?
Thank you, Chair Clark. Will the Committee on Institutional Advancement please come to order? First, I want to take 1 minute and thank our committee vice chair, Trustee Guajardo, for being an incredible thought partner and colleague this past year. And I just want to say I cannot wait to watch your future great successes. Today, the committee has 1 item on the consent agenda and 1 item on the discussion agenda. It's now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda, which consists only of the minutes of the March 2026 meeting. Is there any objection to the approval of the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Now we're going to move on to the discussion agenda. In the Chancellor's report yesterday, Chancellor Garcia reflected on the extraordinary momentum that the CSU is building in inspiring philanthropic support. In addition to the recent record-setting gifts the Chancellor highlighted from the Ballmer Group, Meta, and Mackenzie Scott, when you include today's item, the CSU will have surpassed $155 million in naming gifts, with nearly 2 months still remaining in the fiscal year. And, as we heard yesterday, $390,000 in philanthropic success overall. This is truly a remarkable milestone, and yet it shouldn't be remarkable at all. It reflects the deep confidence our donors have in the CSU and in the shared belief in the power of public higher education to transform lives and strengthen our communities. And I would like to echo the Chancellor in expressing my gratitude to all of CSU's generous donors and to our presidents and their advancement teams in their extraordinary efforts to secure this much-needed support. I firmly believe this is just the beginning. Item 2 is a property naming request from San Diego State seeking approval for the naming of Parma Way. This action item will be presented by Greg Sachs, Vice Chancellor, External Relations and Communications, and Adela De La Torre, President of San Diego State. Please begin, Vice Chancellor Sachs.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Trustee Gilbert-Laurie. The proposed naming recognizes the extraordinary and long-standing philanthropic support of Leon and Barbara Parma to San Diego State University. The Parma's generosity has supported a wide range of university priorities, from student support programs and athletics to alumni engagement, with cumulative giving exceeding 8 figures. Today's proposal to rename Ironwood Street to Parma Way is a fitting tribute to more than 70 years of connection, service, and impact to San Diego State University. I'll now turn it over to President De La Torre to share more about the donors and the significance of this recognition. President De La Torre.
Thank you, Greg, and members of the Board of Trustees. It is an honor to present the remarkable contributions of the Parma family, and we're pleased that Roy Parma Clark, the grandson of Leon and Barbara, is joining us virtually today. Welcome, Roy. We respectfully request the renaming of Ironwood Street to Parma Way, recognizing long-term alumnus and supporter Leon Parma and his wife, Barbara. Located on STSU's Mission Valley campus, the road serves primarily as an entrance to Snapdragon Stadium. There were over 2.5 million attendees at over 400 events at the stadium since its opening in summer 2022. The stadium has quickly become a vibrant community asset. In addition, the River Park had over 400,000 visits in 2025 alone. It reflects SDSU's commitment to growth, innovation, and community connection. Leon Parma, a 1951 graduate and former Aztec football quarterback, has dedicated more than 7 decades to SDSU. He is an Alumnus of the Year, an Emeritus Campanile Foundation board member, and a steadfast champion of Aztec athletics. His impact extends beyond campus. A Navy veteran of World War II, former co-owner of the San Diego Padres, and respected business and civic leader, Leon has earned numerous honors for his service and philanthropy. Together, Leon and Barbara have supported SDSU athletics, Guardian Scholars, University House, and alumni programs, including the Parma Payne Goodall Alumni Center. As Mr. Parma approaches his 100th birthday in 2027, this naming is a meaningful tribute to a lifetime of leadership, generosity, and devotion to SDSU. I respectfully ask for your approval of Parma Way. Thank you.
Thank you, President De La Torre. This will be a tough one. The naming of Parma Way at San Diego State University is an action item before the Committee on Institutional Advancement. May I have a motion from a committee member to approve?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Yes, Trustee McCrory.
I just want to say Leon is a very, very close friend of mine. When I was a young deputy city manager, he led a group of private individuals, and we were responsible for going out and getting Super Bowls. So we went around the country bidding on Super Bowls, and thanks to Leon's leadership, along with Bob Payne, we got 3 Super Bowls in '88, '98, and 2003. So he's not only a great Aztec, he's a great civic leader in San Diego. And when we started the initiative to force the city to sell the Qualcomm site to CSU, Leon was one of the leaders of that effort. He was one of the leaders of the Friends of San Diego State, the sponsorship group that got us the funds to win the election. So Leon is a great San Diegan, great Aztec, and this road in particular leading into the Mission Valley site is really appropriate to be named after him. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item is approved. As President De La Torre shared, Roy Palmer Clark is joining us virtually today. I now turn it over to Chancellor Garcia to share remarks before we hear from Mr. Palmer Clark.
It is my great honor and privilege to recognize the extraordinary legacy of giving established by Leon and Barbara Palmer, whose long-standing dedication to San Diego State, as you heard, spans more than 70 years. As President De La Torre shared, the Palmer's impact on San Diego State is both far-reaching and deeply impactful. Their total philanthropic support now exceeds 8 figures. Let me say that again. Yes, 8 figures. And has strengthened key areas and programs across university operations, including scholarships for former Forster youth and numerous alumni engagement programs. And of course, the former Aztec quarterback commitment to SDSU athletics has been utterly extraordinary, creating life-changing opportunities for student athletes on the fields and courts of competition, in the classroom, and in the community as exceptional ambassadors of the university. Beyond his support of San Diego State, Mr. Palmer's life and career reflect exemplary citizenship and ethical leadership, and we are especially grateful for his honorable and courageous service to our country in World War II. Today is a fitting celebration of Mr. and Mrs. Palmer's 7 decades of selfless service and unwavering and generous support of San Diego State and its mission. And we recognize with our deepest appreciation and something close to awe the countless lives their generosity has touched and positively impacted over these 70 years. I am so grateful that Mr. and Mrs. Palmer's grandson, Mr. Roy Palmer Clark, is able to join us via Zoom today. Mr. Palmer Clark, please accept my heartfelt gratitude for everything that your family has done for San Diego State University and the CSU. And I ask that you please share our deepest thanks, appreciation, and admiration with your grandparents, whose legacy we celebrate today. Mr. Palmer Clark, would you please share a few words with us?
Yeah, thank you very much. All the praise is very overwhelming in a way. Being his grandson, and he's just grandpa to us. You forget all that he's done sometimes, but he's a great example to us all. Just San Diego State means a lot to him. The school, he, as mentioned, was the quarterback. He actually slept in a trailer in the end zone of Aztec Bowl. Not a lot of people were giving a generously listed 5'9" quarterback, the time back then, and San Diego State gave him the opportunity. He got his first job because someone recognized him from that position. And so because of that, he's felt a duty to give back, a great gratitude towards San Diego State and what it's done for him, along with a civic duty to San Diego. It's always been a source of pride for him. So we as a family appreciate all the kind words, appreciate the recognition. It's not something he ever strove for or did what he did to get, but it's greatly appreciated, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Palmer Clark. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we extend our deepest gratitude to Leon and Barbara Parma for their decades of remarkable leadership, service, and transformational philanthropic support for San Diego State University. Their commitment reflects not only enduring and visionary generosity, but a lifelong devotion to the promise and potential of the university and its students. The naming of Parma Way stands as a lasting tribute to that legacy. We're deeply grateful not only to the Parmas, but to all of our donors and to the campus leadership and advancement teams who make these transformative partnerships possible. Chair Clark, this concludes the business of the Committee on Institutional Advancement.
Thank you, Trustee Gilbert-Lurie. I will now convene the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel. Will the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel please come to order? It is now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. Is there any objection to approving the consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Actually, yes. Ms. Coral, do I need a roll call vote for this one? That's what I thought. For the next item, compensation for the interim president of Monterey Bay has been removed from the discussion agenda and will come before the committee at a later time. Today, the committee has 3 items on the discussion agenda. We begin with item 3, an action item, providing compensation for the interim vice chancellor for human resources of California State University. Chancellor Garcia, would you please begin?
Thank you, Chair Clark. As I first announced to this board on April 7th, I have appointed Dr. Dave Grant to serve as the CSU's interim Vice Chancellor and Chief Human Resources Officer. He began his new role on April 17th and will continue to serve in this position until we complete a national search for the next regularly appointed Vice Chancellor in the coming months. Dr. Grant is familiar to many of you. He has served at the Chancellor's office since 2024, most recently as Associate Vice Chancellor for System-Wide Human Resources. He brings extensive experience in human resources leadership and a strong record of advancing strategic initiatives across complex organizations. His portfolio has included talent acquisition, employee engagement, labor relations, performance management, and organizational development. In his time at the Chancellor's Office, Dr. Grant has led multiple key initiatives, including modernizing performance evaluations, advancing our return to office efforts, and overseeing the ongoing faculty and staff salary surveys. Above all, he brings a people-centered leadership approach grounded in empathy and accountability. Prior to joining the CSU, Dr. Grant served as Chief Human Resources Officer at Biola University, where he strengthened operations, reduced benefit costs, and advanced leadership engagement in diversity initiatives. I have every confidence that as Interim Vice Chancellor and Chief Human Resources Officer, Dr. Grant will continue the CSU's positive momentum in this area by providing strong strategic direction for human resources across the system. This will also ensure alignment with our institutional priorities, strategic plan, and also continued support for our faculty, staff, and campus communities. Dr. Grant earned a doctorate in business administration with an emphasis in global business and leadership from California International University. He holds a Master's of Business Administration with a Management and Human Resources focus from Troy University and a BA in International Trade and Finance from Louisiana State University. Now, turning to committee business, I recommend that Interim Vice Chancellor and Chief Human Resources Officer, Dr. Dave Grant, receive an annual salary of $378,000 effective April 17, 2026. In accordance with existing policy, a monthly auto allowance of $1,000 and standard benefits for executive classified employees will be provided. To the members of the committee and the full board, I respectfully request your approval of compensation for the Interim Vice Chancellor and Chief Human Resources Officer as presented in the item before you. Chair Clark, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor, for your presentation. This is item 3, the approval of compensation for the Interim Vice Chancellor for Human Resources of the California State University. It is an action item before the Committee on University and Faculty Personnel. May I have a preliminary motion from a committee member to approve this item? I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I'll say something. I want everybody to vote in favor of this. We're lucky to have qualified people such as Dr. Grant in these positions. Is there any further comment? There being none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes. Item 4 is an information item providing an update on civil rights programs and services. The item will be presented by Dr. Grant, Interim Vice Chancellor for Human Resources and Executive Advisor for Civil Rights, Peter Lim.
Good morning, trustees and chancellor. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that I welcome the opportunity to serve in the role of Interim Vice Chancellor and Chief Human Resources Officer. Over the past year, I have been closely engaged in the CSU civil rights work and have worked alongside Frank and Pete on some of these efforts. While I am new to this role, I am fully committed to continuing the momentum already underway. That progress will not slow, and I will continue to actively support this work. Today's update focuses on civil rights investigations, specifically an early look at the Shared Investigative Pilot Program, an initiative designed to improve the timeliness and consistency of investigations. As we explained in March, there are a large number of factors that impact the timing of investigations, and improving timeliness and quality remains a priority across the system. As discussed in prior meetings, investigation timeliness remains a system-wide challenge. Delays can increase institutional risk, affect compliance obligations, and impact trust among students and employees. In response, we launched the Shared Investigator Pilot Program as a targeted, data-informed effort to help address these challenges. I'll turn to Pete Lem, who will walk through the pilot, the early results, and what they might suggest about the path forward. Pete.
Thank you, Interim Vice Chancellor Dr. Grant. In March, we shared that investigation timelines are influenced by structural, procedural, and human factors, and that there is no single lever to improve them. We emphasize the importance of testing different approaches, monitoring outcomes, and making evidence-based decisions that improve timeliness while preserving a full and fair process. Today's update builds directly on that discussion. In particular, we are providing an early look at one of those initiatives, the Shared Investigator Pilot Program, which was designed to test whether shared capacity, greater consistency, and centralized support can help address some of those challenges we identified. Importantly, this pilot is one of several approaches we are exploring. It is not intended to be the sole solution, but rather part of a broader effort to identify what combination of strategies will be most effective. I'll begin with a brief overview of the pilot, then walk through early results and observations, followed by comparisons to investigations outside of the pilot. We will close with a follow-up to our March discussion, specifically data on appeals. The pilot runs from October 1st. Campuses continue. I'm sorry. Next slide, please. Thank you. Campuses continue to face system-wide challenges in completing investigations in a timely and consistent manner. These include capacity constraints, variability in investigator experience, and external factors that affect participation and scheduling. The Shared Investigator Pilot Program was designed as a targeted response to these challenges with three primary objectives: mitigating delays in case completion, expanding investigative capacity, and providing real-time coaching and support to campus investigators. At its core, this is a capacity and consistency strategy. The pilot runs from October 1st, 2025 through June 1st, 2026. You can go to the next slide, please. That time frame is important because investigations themselves take time to complete, and we need a sufficient cycle to generate a meaningful sample size for evaluation. As you can see, we are now approximately 8 months into the pilot, and as of today, have 8 completed cases to review. That reinforces why a shorter pilot would not provide enough data to assess impact. At the same time, it is important to note that the current sample size of the pilot remains limited, and any observations at this stage should be viewed as preliminary. A full-year approach allows us to observe cases from initiation through completion, compare outcomes, and evaluate whether the model is producing sustained improvements. The pilot is a collaboration between the Chancellor's Office and 5 participating campuses. Next slide, please. Humboldt, East Bay, Bakersfield, Sacramento State, and Chico. These 5 campuses work in partnership with the Chancellor's Office. We intentionally started with a smaller group of campuses. This allows us to test the model in a controlled way, closely monitor implementation, and evaluate results before expanding more broadly. A smaller pilot also gives us the ability to provide more focused support, including shared capacity and real-time coaching, and to better understand how the model functions in practice. The goal is to review the data, assess viability, and determine whether this approach should be continued or scaled across the system. With that in context in place, I'll start with what we are seeing so far, and then come back to how the model is structured to support these outcomes. Before getting into the details of the model, I want to start with what we are observing in the early data. At a high level, we are looking at 2 things. First, what the early results may be telling us about investigation timelines, and second, how the model, particularly in terms of investigative capacity, may be contributing to those results. I'll start with the results and then turn to the structure of the pilot to help explain what may be driving them. The most notable pattern is that completion times are clustering within a narrower range, approximately 60 to 90 working days. As you can see here, the investigations were completed in 92, 82, 71, and 64 working days. Now, since we prepared these slides, 4 more investigations have been completed beyond what you see on this slide. These recent investigations were completed in 91, 82, 113, and 110 working days. The 113 and 110 working day investigations were the result of transition. The initial investigator resigned and the investigations were assigned to a new investigator. So the average timeline for these now 8 investigations is 88 working days. Historically, one of our biggest challenges has been variability, not just longer timelines, but unpredictable ones. While the sample size for these now 8 pilot investigations remains limited, this early pattern suggests the pilot may be contributing to more consistent and stable processing. For us, this raises an important question about what is helping to stabilize that variability. Next slide, please. One factor we are examining is how the structure of the pilot supports campuses, particularly in minimizing the impact of staffing challenges and strengthening consistency in investigative work. The model includes a higher level of Chancellor's Office oversight and coordination in the use of experienced investigators from the CO who can be assigned to support campuses as needed. Through this approach, campuses are able to access additional investigative capacity when needed, while also benefiting from greater alignment in how investigations are conducted. These CO investigators help provide continuity when there is turnover or limited local capacity, and they also play a key role in coaching campus investigators in real time. For example, when a campus loses an investigator, the Chancellor's Office can deploy a seasoned investigator who is already familiar with the policy to step in and continue the work, minimizing delays and disruption. That combination, added stability and ongoing coaching, is intended to support more consistent work product across campuses. Similarly, when a campus hires a new investigator, that individual can work alongside a more experienced and seasoned investigator from the CEO, providing real-time coaching and helping that campus investigator more quickly build the skills and confidence needed to handle a full caseload. And while it's still early, this may help reduce one of the key drivers of variability in investigation timelines. To better understand these results, we compared pilot cases to investigations outside the pilot. Looking first at non-pilot campuses. Next slide, please. These 54 cases represent a more recent sample set of investigations, as they were all completed after the latest data set we shared with the board. You may recall that in our prior update, we reviewed 78 investigations with an average completion time of 171 working days. In this more recent sample, the average completion time is approximately 175 working days. This reinforces that while there may be some variability from one data set to the next, the broader challenge of extended timelines remains consistent, 171 and 174 across both data sets. We also looked at cases within the same pilot campuses, next slide please, that were initiated just before the pilot began and completed during the pilot period. So this is the same grouping of the 5 campuses that are participating in the pilot. These 4 cases had completion times ranging from 36 to 443 working days. Because they span the period just before and into the pilot, they provide helpful context for assessing whether the pilot may be having an impact on timelines. This visual on the next slide brings the 3 comparators together. Each line represents a different group. Comparator 1 are our pilot cases initiated after implementation. Comparator 2, non-pilot campuses. And comparator 3, the same participating campuses with cases initiated just before the pilot, our closest apples to apples comparison. When you look across these comparisons, a few things stand out. In both comparator 2 and comparator 3, we see significant variability, with many investigations extending well beyond the 100 working day timeline. In contrast, the pilot cases to date are clustered within a much tighter range, even with the 8 cases we now have, and all are within or near that 100 working day timeline. At the same time, these findings do not suggest that maintaining a 100 working day target and exploring structural solutions like this pilot are mutually exclusive. Both are levers we can continue to evaluate in parallel. But as we think about our timeline and we look at that red line where it stands now, the data, where they cluster or where they can cluster, can help us understand whether to move that red dotted line or leave it where it is. So what does this mean? Next slide, please. 4 early observations. First, improved consistency may be just as important as reducing overall timelines. Second, investments in capacity, particularly through continuity and real-time coaching, may be helping to stabilize performance. Third, structural solutions like shared resources and coordinated support can help address long-standing variability. And fourth, the shared investigator model may also strengthen independence by using investigators from outside the home campus, helping to reduce perceived bias and reinforce confidence in the process. What we're continuing to study, and what you might think of as the secret sauce here, is not one single change, but a set of reinforcing practices working together. Closer coordination with campuses throughout the investigation process so questions are resolved earlier and don't create delays later. It also includes a clear focus on keeping cases moving while still maintaining the quality and integrity of the work. It's still early, and now with 19 investigations still pending in the pilot, the results may evolve as more cases get completed. But given the limited sample size to date, these observations are preliminary and may change as additional data becomes available. But as an initial indicator, the pilot is showing promising signs. More broadly, this reinforces the importance of continuing to explore multiple approaches, including both structural strategies like the pilot and the question of the 100 working day timeline itself. Our intent is to continue gathering data on both fronts and return over the summer with a more informed recommendation on next steps. Now, next slide, please. I want to briefly connect this back to our last discussion with the board. At that time, there was a question about appeals. Specifically, how often investigation outcomes are overturned as an indicator of how sound those outcomes are. This slide shows the investigation, or the prior slide shows the investigation process at a high level. As you can see, the appeal is a right available at the conclusion of the investigation, allowing typically the non-prevailing party to challenge the outcome or sanction on specific defined grounds. It's also important to note that the appeals process is not included in the 100 working day investigation timeline. Appeals are submitted to the Chancellor's Office, which has a dedicated unit responsible for reviewing them. That separation with appeals handled outside the campus where the investigation occurred helps promote objectivity and ensures a more independent review process. To help put the appeals data in context, it is also important to understand the overall volume of cases. In academic year 24-25, this same time frame, the system completed 472 investigations. This provides important context for understanding how frequently outcomes are appealed. In academic year 24-25, that same period, 53 appeals were filed, so about 11% of investigation outcomes were appealed. Of the 53 appeals, 43 were denied, 2 were granted, representing a less than 1% turnover rate. 8 were not accepted or withdrawn, and the average to complete them was 31 working days. The low rate of granted appeals suggests that investigation outcomes are generally being upheld. And while the appeals process does add time, it remains an important safeguard and is relatively consistent in duration. In closing, the Shared Investigator Pilot Program represents a targeted, data-informed effort to address challenges in investigation timelines and consistency. Early results are positive, particularly in reducing the variability and stabilizing timelines. These findings also highlight the role that capacity and structure can play in improving outcomes alongside our continued evaluation of the 100 working day timeline. Before I conclude, I would like to thank the Title IX coordinators at the campuses for their incredible work on this pilot. Alan Williams at Bakersfield, Jolani Hironaki at East Bay, Skip Bishop at Sacramento, David Hickok at Humboldt, and Erica Romo at Chico work alongside Dylan Sake of the Office of General Counsel and Laura Anson from System-Wide Directors. They have done incredible work in creating success for this pilot program. And with that, I want to say thank you and welcome your questions.
Thank you very much. This is an information item. I take it there are going to be some questions. Yes. We'll start at my left and come around. I believe, Trustee Fajardo, you have your placard up.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to your team. This is significant progress, and it's amazing to hear how this pilot is moving. I'm just wondering, what do you think where is the success stemming from? Is it more from the capacity side and the additional capacity that you're adding to each campus, or is it more on the oversight side and simplifying some of these processes?
I think it's a combination of both. I think the campuses are really focused. These 5 participating campuses have really focused their energy on improving the quality and thoroughness and the timeliness of their investigations. I think that, coupled with additional support and oversight from the Chancellor's Office, monitoring the progress of these cases, making sure that they address questions and issues in real time, and helping them resolve those faster on the front end rather than the back end, I think is really helping improve our timelines. So I think it's both.
Thank you. I got one more, Chair, if I may. Thank you for that. That's really great to hear. And then looking forward, what do you think this will look like at scale across the system as you're looking ahead?
So that's what we're kind of exploring right now. So the pilot will give us some good information, and from that we can then possibly get a better idea in terms of what it might take to make this more widespread. So we're in the preliminary stages right now of trying to figure out what that might look like.
Trustee Farhad, you took my question, but that's okay. Next steps was, what do we do now? Like, what is the next step, and what's the timeline on that? This is a wonderful report, and I agree with your comments that everything that has been done in place is why we see a shorter timeline now. But I hope we know where we're going, you know, what that looks like next. So I'd love to hear more about that.
So I'll start, and then Pete, if you would finish up. So again, with the success that we're seeing in the pilot, the plan is to expand this. But I think we need to perhaps increase the sample size to get a better idea of what it might take as far as resources are concerned. So what in general, the thought is to continue to expand the sample to see where that kind of takes us, and to get a realistic idea in terms of what is possible and how we might get there. But with the sample size we have presently, it's still too early to kind of say what it might take to go where we're wanting to go. Peter, if you add to that as well.
Sure. You know, the sample size is very small right now. It's 8 investigations. They are clustering tighter. There are 19 investigations that are pending. We anticipate that they will also cluster tighter. We're looking at their progress. We're looking at where they're at and where they're at in the timeline. And we anticipate seeing that same cluster. So I anticipate coming back in the summer and saying, or the next AVC coming back in the summer and telling you that we're seeing success overall with this sample size of investigations. The question is whether we have the infrastructure to expand it beyond, and that if we are going to do that, the question will be which campuses want to opt into the program, and do we have the capacity to support that expansion. Currently, I think it would be hard to support an expansion of this shared investigator pilot program. Under prior Vice Chancellor Hurtarte, we added 2 central investigators, and those 2 central investigators have made a real difference in supplementing when transition happens and where there's not enough capacity. What I'll say is, by keeping it within our system, by keeping the investigators, whether they come from the Chancellor's Office or the home campus, you see a better data set. Like I said to you in a prior presentation, when we think external, we weren't seeing, based on the data, faster investigations. We were actually seeing slower investigations. So what I can say that data tells us is that our internal investigators are committed to doing good work and committing to doing prompt work. It's just making sure that we have enough capacity. So to Vice Chancellor Grant's point, there's not enough capacity at this time, and if we were to expand it, there's 2 questions in front of us. Which campuses would want to opt in, and when we look at that, do we have the capacity to support that?
Vice Chair Randall.
This is really exciting. Thank you. The results are incredibly promising, and I recognize it's a small sample size. You said that a few times, but I just want to say, even with a small sample size, the results are very promising. And it follows a train of logic that you've just described that we would expect to see. In that way, I wonder, and I don't want to put words in Carson and Raji's mouth, but in some ways, I think you often pilot for one of two reasons. The first is to determine, should we be doing this? And then the second is to figure out, how do we do this best? I wonder if what you're beginning to hear is, even though it's early, we might be at a point of saying we should do this. And so we may want to start pivoting our pilot to, how do we do this best at scale? Which may not mean we move to all 22 campuses tomorrow. But the early results follow such a train of logic, one that started us down this path in the first place, and are so promising that I would encourage us to continue moving at the speed we've been moving, which is both methodical but with urgency to try and get there, that we might be at a stage of saying, how do we start moving to 22 campuses, because it just seems so promising. But I just want to end where I started, which is kudos to the both of you, but like you said, to the team, both here at the Chancellor's office and at each of these 5 piloting campuses. If we see this scale, it just it feels incredibly promising that we can live into what we started when we began this work.
Thank you. Trustee Fong.
Thank you so much for this excellent presentation. And thank you, Pete, for the work that you are leading on this, along with Interim Vice Chancellor Grant. And in particular, those 5 HR campus coordinators. I've actually met a few of them, and so their work is just exemplary. As you have said, these pilot cases, it's a very small group. Do you know if the pilot cases versus the others, are they comparable in complexity? Are they similar?
I think that the 8 that we have represent a random sampling. So we didn't pull them. So the complexity of them, the sample size, I don't know if they're more complex than the others that we looked at. So random sampling here and a random sampling here, and what we're seeing is the difference in data. So they might be simpler, they might be more complex, or they might be the same. It's really hard to say. What I think of in any event, whatever the variables are these investigations that we saw finish, these 8 investigations, were they done promptly, but also were they quality investigations,
yes.
Right? One of the things that we think about is, does increasing speed impact quality?
Right.
That's not what we're trying to do. Our motto at the CSU is thorough investigations or prompt investigations, but never at the expense of being thorough. And that's always been our motto. What I think happens in this pilot program with this real-time coaching is the investigations actually get better. And I say that because not only are they faster, but you saw from the last presentation, Erica Romo present with Dylan Sake about all of the judgment calls that are made in an investigation and how difficult those judgment calls are in real time. When you make those decisions on an island, it's really difficult. But when you have someone to think with you, a thought partner in real time, every week talking through, this is what came up last week, can we talk about that? Does that sound like a sound decision, right? Do we have shared thought in real time? I think you actually improve those judgment calls. I think you make investigations better, and you're not impacting timeliness. It's better than at the back end when you share your thoughts, this is what we did during the investigation, here's our final report, and it gets reviewed and we say, oop, there are a couple of gaps in this investigation. Can we go back and fill them? Now we're causing delays. Now it's taking longer. So you look at the data on the appeals, it's one metric to say how sound are our outcomes. Less than 1% being overturned of a sample size of 472 is a pretty good data set and a data conclusion. It supports a good conclusion. But at the same time, I think just by being able to think with someone else, with real subject matter experts from the Chancellor's Office and from other home campuses. I think you make better decisions. I think you improve thoroughness, and I think you also are seeing improvements in timeliness at the same time.
Well, thank you for that. And I underscore what you say, that we have to be thorough. We have to make certain that these cases are done with quality and not speed. But it's wonderful to see what the pilot outcomes have been. So thank you so much for this incredible work. We have come so far. It is so exciting. Thank you.
Trustee Gilbert-Lori.
Thank you. Thanks for the report. And it is very rewarding to see problems being resolved, investigated, and resolved in real time. I mean, this has been a really great process. But I know what Pete is thinking as I'm saying this, which is there is so much more that, this is one little piece, and I just want to be, clear about this, that what this pilot was, really went to investigate, I think, is what do we think about the investigation time? And what I think we found is that there are ways to consolidate that time, to be more, to be better about investigative time. And what we also learned is how important coaching and extra resources play in the process. I do think that even if we could do this at scale, even if we had the capacity, that doesn't necessarily get at other questions we still need to look at in terms of how does this get communicated across campus? What is the satisfaction that people have as a result of this process? This is one piece. But since we do understand now that that capacity plays a role, what I think would be, what I would love to see is our thinking quickly about how do we ramp this up to the extent possible. And I think one thing that's really gratifying that's come from the Chancellor all along is how do we have a system-wide approach? And, I think what we're finding is more resources from the Chancellor's office, more inter-university cooperation amongst investigators, so that we're not so tied to, the 4 investigators we might have on our campus. Like, where are those pods where universities share investigators? Like, that's really helpful. But I think somehow we're going to have to find the resources to ramp up that staff. And, I think what would be helpful to hear in the next meeting is to still talk about sort of what are our greatest challenges right now? Like, as we go about sort of the, backlog, like where are we at still with case backlog on campuses? Because I think it would be really helpful to put this in that broader context. But I really so appreciate, if you could be in our, our advisory meetings and talk about, nothing is left unsaid in these meetings. And there's just, I think there's just a desire on the part of every single person in this endeavor at the CSU to get this right. And, but we're not, this is a process. And I feel like we have really appreciate that we have greater understanding on one piece of this. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm not rushing trustees, but we have some trustees who have short time frames. So, Trustee Rodriguez.
Thank you, Chair. First, I want to thank you for your due diligence. I think I'm happy to see the early results of the pilot. I think that these were some of the questions that we had last time. We want to make sure that our stakeholders are being taken care of in this most serious issue. that, victims are being served, that they're being heard. I want to go back to your statement, Pete, that you said that it's important to have our internal CSU investigators. And I really wanted to make sure that that's a point that comes across, because if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that's a roadblock to these timelines if we're dealing with more and more outside investigators. And I just like for you to just share a little bit more about that, and if there's any other roadblocks that you're starting to see that are coming up.
I think our internal investigators do very good work, and I think they're committed to making the CSU a better place. And that commitment gets shown through quality investigations, a humility in how they consult with the chancellor's office when they deal with challenges, and a desire to do better. I think our internal investigators are fantastic. This is no shade on external investigators. I just think if we invest in our investigators, which is the purpose of this pilot program, really investing in our people, I think we can see quality work. The other thing I want to say is that the Chancellor's office and the work we're doing at the Chancellor's office is only part of it, and it's a very small part of it. The real work's being done on the campuses, and here's what I mean by that. At the last presentation, you heard from Erica Romo, who works with President Perez. Erica Romo does fantastic work in monitoring and ensuring investigations are done timely and thorough. When Erica Romo is doing generally her work, she's controlling the investigations. Controlling is a strong word, but she's monitoring investigations at her home campus with 2 investigators who are remarkable. But that's where her impact is. When we have investigators who work at a Bakersfield, now they get to work with Erica. They get coached by Erica, and we force multiply Erica's impact across other campuses. When we think about Alan Williams, who works with President Harper at Bakersfield, he does incredible work, but outside of the pilot program, he would only do it at Bakersfield. When we allow Humboldt to see Alan, when we allow Chico, Sacramento to see Alan, all of a sudden we force multiplied Alan to impact beyond Bakersfield. I share that with you because I just can't say enough about what the Title IX coordinators in this pilot program are doing to make these investigations better. The Chancellor's office is a very small part of that.
Any further comment by trustees? I'll just make an observation very quickly. The Chancellor, when you arrived, I think there was a general feeling among several members of the board that some of the information, we were getting a lot of presentations, but there wasn't a sense that we were getting the information we need to do our oversight. In my view, we're in that process now, and I think this is an excellent presentation. And also, in the last response that you gave, Mr. Lim, for example, that seems to me to be an example of systemness. And so, as I head out the door, I just want to say thank you, Chancellor, and thank you to the Chancellor's Council for the real quality presentations that have been coming to the board. And Peter, yes, I want to thank you. And Dr. Grant, I already said I'm so happy that you're here. So, with that item done, we're going to item number 5. It's an information item, providing the transition program for the acting president of California State University, Long Beach. The item will be presented by Chancellor Garcia.
Thank you, Chair Clark. As the board is aware, G. Andrew Jones has served the CSU with distinction for more than 25 years. Prior to his recent service as acting president of Cal State Long Beach, a role that he performed with distinction, he led the Office of General Counsel as Executive Vice Chancellor and General Counsel, and also served as Secretary to the Board of Trustees, where he contributed to many important matters of board governance and leadership. Andy has also served in the role of Deputy General Counsel, the team leader for the OGC's Business and Finance team, and as counsel for various CSU campuses over the years. In addition, he served for almost a year as the interim vice chancellor of System-Wide Human Resources. He will now begin a 1-year executive transition assignment. His assignment will focus on supporting the Office of General Counsel and strengthening Board of Trustees governance. More specifically, he will develop a detailed, comprehensive, and organized off-boarding guide for the interim executive vice chancellor and general counsel. This guide will lay out key legal matters across the system, as well as the strategic considerations behind prior legal advice and decision-making. He will also remain available throughout the transition to support, as needed, the interim executive vice chancellor and general counsel, and following the national search, the incoming regularly appointed vice chancellor and general counsel, offering guidance and context on past practices and key decisions handled during his tenure. This guidance and consultation will provide important institutional perspective while helping to ensure continuity and reduce risk. The second aspect of Andy's assignment focuses on strengthening board governance through the development of a comprehensive procedural manual for the Secretary of the Board of Trustees, along with a separate confidential assessment of current board practices and recommendations for enhancement and improvement. Currently, the Secretary's role and the board's work are guided by a range of complex statutes, policies, and practices that have developed over time and are often difficult to navigate. This transition presents an opportunity to bring greater alignment across these frameworks, capture institutional knowledge, and further strengthen governance moving forward. Andy is uniquely qualified to lead this work, drawing on his experience as both general counsel and secretary to the board, which positions him to ensure that the work is legally sound and operationally guided. He has also agreed to remain available when needed to support Cal State Long Beach incoming president, offering continuity and institutional perspective on key matters to help ensure a smooth and effective leadership transition. While completing these assignments, he will be appointed to the Management Personnel Plan with annual compensation of $354.72, consistent with CSU practice for executives participating in the transition program. We are deeply grateful for Andy's outstanding leadership at both the Chancellor's Office and Cal State Long Beach, and we sincerely appreciate his continued service to the CSU during this transition. I am confident that this work will have a meaningful and lasting positive impact on the system. Chair Clark, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Garcia. Item 5 is an information item. Are there any questions or comments from the board? I would just say, Andy Jones, thank you very much for your continued commitment to this university, to this institution. We're going to be able to talk about you a little bit later on, so thank you very much for what you do. If there are no further questions or comments, this concludes the business of the Committee on University Faculty and Personnel. Trustee Lopez, will you please convene the Committee on Finance? And I might say, this is scheduled for 30 minutes. But as a judge told me when he gave me 20 minutes to talk, Mr. Clark, you don't have to use all the 20 minutes that I just gave you.
Chair Clark, we will move expeditiously here. Will the Committee on Finance please come to order? It's now time for the committee to consider the consent agenda. Does any committee member wish to remove an item for separate discussion? Seeing none, may I have a motion, or is there any objection to approving the consent item? We don't need any. Seeing none, the consent item is approved. So that we have the one discussion agenda today, and it's really an update on where we are on the 25-26 operating budget. We have a scheduled day in a couple of weeks to go up to Sacramento, and I think this is an opportunity for the board to be brought up to date as to the state of play. So, Patrick, would you expeditiously share with us what's going on?
I will do so, Trustee Lopez. This is an information item on the 26-27 CSU budget, including overall state general fund revenue assumptions, issues before the Senate and Assembly budget subcommittees, and the overall funding assumptions of the governor and the legislature in the final days of the deliberations on the 26-27 state budget. Although we do not have a full understanding of the governor's May revised revenue and expenditure assumptions until next week, we do have some information based on the Department of Finance April cash flow reports. The good news is that the overall general fund receipts are up $1.5 billion, or a 9.3% increase overall. It is up $8.6 billion, or 5.5% in the fiscal year to date. Personal income tax is the main driver behind the revenue increases, up $4.8 billion year to date, with corporate tax up $2.8 billion year to date. It would appear that overall sales and use tax remain relatively flat. However, the overall increase in the state general fund revenue is encouraging. I say encouraging because it gives us some cautious optimism of the governor's January budget proposal for the CSU is not likely to be reduced as a result of declining general fund revenue. In addition, programs that either were reduced or did not receive the same funding support as the CSU in the governor's January budget and remain a priority for the legislature may benefit from some funding that will not come at our expense. While it's always a risk to make funding assumptions or get complacent in our budget advocacy, CSU remains in a favorable position to receive no less than the $509.5 million from the state general fund recommended in the governor's January budget. There have been no shortage of issues of concern that have come before the Senate and Assembly budget subcommittees. These include CSU enrollment growth, campus turnaround plans, Title IX updates, Cal Grant and middle class scholarship financial aid, Common Course numbering, student basic needs, and funding issues pertaining to the capital renewal and deferred maintenance. The subcommittees have completed their pre-May revise deliberations on the overall budget, and we will await the release of the governor's general fund assumptions and estimates before the legislature finalizes the 26-27 state budget and sends their recommendations to the governor. We await these final decisions, including any budget bill language or subsequent trailer bill language that may direct the CSU on program funding priorities or overall budget allocations. After months of CSU advocates representing the funding needs of our students, faculty, and staff, detailed engagement with the governor's office, the Department of Finance, the legislature and their staff, and the legislative analyst office, we remain hopeful that our message of the importance to invest in the California State University has been heard and will be supported. Fortunately, neither the legislature nor the governor has indicated there are any issues or policy concerns that would preclude their support of the governor's initial recommendations, and in fact, there is an effort in the legislature to increase the funding by about $151.4 million to fully fund the Year 4 compact agreement. It remains to be seen if the May general fund revenue will support this request, given so many competing budget priorities, or if there will be an opportunity to provide one-time funding to the CSU. However, we remain optimistic and grateful for the support of the CSU as an opportunity for student social mobility and CSU as the driving economic engine on behalf of the state and the nation. Trustee Lopez, that completes my presentation regarding the 26-27 CSU budget update, and AVC Martin and I are available to address any questions or concerns by the trustees.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Obviously, this is a very hopeful report. It's pre the May revise, so we still have to get that information, but at least things are looking good. And I just want to personally thank you and AVC Martin and everybody else, all of our constituencies, the CFA, the Senate, everybody else, the student, CSSA, everybody who's been so active in getting our message forward. Before I open it to comments, I just want to, as we go to Sacramento in a couple of weeks, we have talking points that you have provided, Greg, that were very helpful. But I hope that once you get the May revise, that you refine them in terms of other issues that may come up. Because if the budget is kind of not the issue, what other questions may we get as trustees, and what talking points there may be on some of those other issues that have been discussed in the legislature. So that's just to say that, so that everybody knows that we'll get something when we go to Sacramento to speak beyond the budget, just in case. Thank you. Any comments, questions from the committee? Let me start with Trustee Adams and then work my way down.
VC Lentz, could you help me just understand. I read with some concern the LAO's recommendations that were outlined in our report. What influence do you think that might have on the committees?
I think my concern about the legislative analyst recommendations is that they're siloed in kind of a one-year time frame and don't recognize a number of challenges, although to their credit, they have conveyed a couple of supportive recommendations on behalf of the CSU. But issues like, for instance, the conversations we've had with particularly the Assembly Budget Subcommittee on enrollment. The way that the state funds enrollment is not conducive to what the CSU does as it pertains to our application or admissions process. They will make a decision on whatever funding priorities for enrollment by June 30th, long after we've accepted the students. What we are trying to do is convince them that an approach on budget year +1, which the legislative analyst has supported in the past, makes all the sense in the world from both an investment process and a planning process. But there are some issues that the legislative analyst is looking at in the context of and concern of the overall state funding challenges and other priorities within the budget. I'm not hearing that those recommendations are going to be supported in any way, shape, or form. We are blessed this year because of those advocacy efforts that Trustee Lopez alluded to, that we're being recognized for our social mobility and in particular for the report that was done last November on our contribution to the state's economy, and people want to continue to support that. So while there are some recommendations that I think the legislature certainly take into consideration, I don't think the overall approach is going to be supported.
Seeing no other questions or comments, thank you. I think we look forward to joining you all in Sacramento and keeping the momentum going. Thank you very much. That, Mr. Chair, is probably the quickest finance committee I have ever chaired.
Expertly done. And I am sure that Trustee Rodriguez will try to outdo you. Will you, Trustee Rodriguez, will you please convene the Committee on Governmental Relations?
Chair, this isn't a competition. I'm going to miss you, Chair, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Chair Clark. Before I begin, I want to thank Chair Boyd and President Al-Rahani for their service and for their continuous advocacy. Your work has been so foundational to drive legislative support, and I can't thank both of you as leaders in your sectors to just be with us side by side, making sure that the CSU story was told. And I appreciate both of you so much. Will the Committee on Government Relations please come to order? Today, the committee has 2 items on the consent agenda. 1 item on the discussion agenda with a total of 30 minutes set aside for presentation and discussion for all items. As you know, we provide an update on tribal relations and NAGPRA and CalNAGPRA compliance at each board meeting. While a full written report is included in your board materials, we wanted to highlight some remarkable progress in our NAGPRA repatriation during the first quarter of 2026. Thank you so much. The most recent monthly report submitted in April 6th, shows 98 ancestors and approximately 122,000 cultural items have been repatriated so far this year, along with 17 federal notices posted and 29 repatriations completed. While Sacramento State and Sonoma State are responsible for the majority of these repatriations, this momentum reflects strong campus leadership and prioritization across the system, which remains essential to achieving full compliance and upholding the CSU's legal and ethical responsibilities to tribal nations. And I just want to thank everyone who's making sure that this is top of mind, that this is something that is a top priority, and I really appreciate all of the efforts. So it is now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. Would any committee member wish to remove any of the items for separate discussion? May I have a motion to approve all the items listed on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any opposed? The items on the consent agenda are approved. The committee has one item on today's discussion agenda. Item 3, it is a state legislative update. This information item will be presented by Greg Sachs, Vice Chancellor of External Relations and Communications, and Nathan Dietrich, our AVC for Advocacy and State Relations. Please begin. VC Sachs.
Thank you so much, Trustee Rodriguez. And let me start with a big thank you to, I think we have 7 trustees coming up for Trustee Advocacy Day next week. And so we very, very much appreciate it. And as shared, there will be a packet of information provided, not only thinking about budget, which the May revise comes out towards the end of next week, but also a whole series of different issues that we're managing. And you'll hear about in just a few minutes in Sacramento. So let me. So the next item we'll be sharing as quickly as possible. Will be an update not only on the board's sponsored legislation and key legislative bills, but also an update on the overall advocacy activities in Sacramento. And before I hand it off to AVC Dietrich, I want to provide you a quick, brief update on where we are in the legislative process. If you think about a 4-quarter football game, we're pretty much at the end of the first quarter through the legislative session, and recently emerged from a very, very busy few weeks of committee hearings, as well as advocacy activities. As noted in March, more than 1,800 bills were introduced, and as you can see from the agenda, the ASR team has identified 75 that are critical to the CSU. I'm pleased to share that our 2 sponsored bills are making progress. At the same time, ASR and our partners throughout the Chancellor's office, as well as amazing support from our campuses, continue to engage with offices seeking amendments to important bills, supporting measures that benefit our students, and raising concerns when appropriate. AVC Dietrich will highlight the key bills the team has been engaged with this session and provide a look ahead to what we should expect over the next few weeks and months. So, Nathan?
Well, good morning, and thank you, Vice Chancellor Sachs. I'd like to start by updating you on the sponsored legislation that was approved by the board at the January meeting. I'm pleased to share that both measures have advanced and are securing wide support. First, our sponsored bill, AB 1858, which would create a pilot program allowing CSU universities to jointly confer a general education associate's degree with an accredited college or university to former CSU students who have completed 60 or more units but have stopped out. This bill has passed Assembly Higher Education Committee by a 10-0 vote, and due to its approach with the targeting adult and returning students, the bill has garnered the support of the Campaign for College Opportunity, Los Angeles Unified School District, and other organizations. I want to thank former Cal State Long Beach Interim President Andy Jones and the university's academic and government relations teams for working with Assemblymember Josh Lowenthal and our office on the bill. They have been incredible and thoughtful partners in this effort. If we can go one slide back. Second, SB 1374, this bill would allow post-secondary institutions to seek restraining orders when a credible threat is made against the institution itself. It has passed the Senate Education and Judiciary Committees with bipartisan support and no opposition. The bill is being supported by the UC and AICCU. I want to thank the Office of General Counsel and San Diego State University for their work with Senator Roger Nilo. Further hearings and votes on these bills will be heard in the coming weeks. At our last board meeting, I shared some key themes that emerged with the introduction of hundreds of bills earlier this year. Bills related to the themes noted on the slide have had their first wave of committee hearings, and some have advanced and others have not. First, 6 bills were introduced that would expand community college bachelor's degrees and their authority to offer them, and 4 bills were introduced that would expand the doctoral authority of the CSU. Considering the large number of bills, it is clear that the legislature is interested in reviewing the master plan and how it is serving students of today. Chancellor Garcia, Vice Chancellor Garcia, ASR, and others have had many meetings with a wide variety of legislators and conveyed to them the CSU welcomes a larger discussion about the role of each segment. And as we have done this, we have emphasized that the CSU is proactively evolving in a student-centered way, which is clearly demonstrated in CSU Forward, in our community college partnerships, the proposed new degree programs, and the more than 500 online and hybrid degree programs that we offer. We have been clear that we want to work with the legislature to find solutions that are student-centered and protect our ability to meet the mission of the CSU. Of the 10 bills originally introduced, 4 are no longer advancing. Of those that remain, 2, SB 960 by Senator Cabaldon and AB 2694 by Assemblymember Alvarez, look at how duplication standards used in the community college bachelor's degree review process can be modified to reflect regional duplication and workforce needs. Both members have already made amendments to their original bills, and we will continue to work with them as the session advances. Additionally, Assemblymember Soria has reintroduced the Community College Nursing Bill, and it also has passed the Assembly Higher Education Committee. While this legislative process continues, our leadership and colleagues in the Division of Academic Affairs are working with their community college partners to explore ways the two segments can work in a more strategic manner to serve the students who transfer to the CSU and support those who are place-bound. According to the PPIC, it often takes 9 semesters for a student to transfer to a CSU, and according to the state auditor, only 1 in 5 students who say they want to transfer do so within 4 years. I share those stats to emphasize that we believe that through greater coordination, we can make progress on multiple fronts. Secondly, a variety of bills were introduced that seek to support historically underrepresented students, specifically Native American, Hispanic, and API students. This is a response to the federal pullback on many existing programs. We are pleased to have a support position on 3 of these bills, which would create state designations for Hispanic and API serving institutions and modernize the state's relationship with tribal colleges. Third, there are several bills that seek to modify or limit the Board of Trustees or Chancellor's Office's ability to manage the system. This includes limits on executive compensation, changes to the presidential search process, modifications to labor law, and additional layers of transparency. We remain concerned that many of these bills would impact our ability to remain nimble and effectively govern the CSU. We have an opposed position on 5 of these bills and will continue to raise our substantial concerns. I can share that one bill that we opposed, AB 2087, which would have made significant structural changes to the composition of the board, was pulled by the author before the committee hearing and is no longer advancing. And finally, there remains the possibility of at least one general obligation bond to be on the November ballot, whether it is a bond for research, affordable housing, or higher education facilities. There have been concerns raised about future years' budgets and the impacts any bond would have on that, and it has been yet to be declared by state leaders how much bonding capacity the state has. But we have made it a priority to ensure that any bond taken to voters includes the CSU. The research bond would fund both research and research labs and facilities, and it would give the CSU a seat at the table in designing and implementing the new programs. Regarding the affordable housing bond, 19 legislators signed a letter seeking to have the CSU, UC, and community colleges included, while other legislators have spoken publicly about including higher education and student housing. We want to thank Assemblymember Mike Fong for leading that letter, and we appreciate our campuses who worked so hard to get so many members to sign on. While our campuses have had impact days to highlight our facilities needs, we have aggressively advocated in Sacramento, there has been less traction for a higher education facilities bond. Therefore, we continue to implement a strategy of also pursuing one-time funding in this year's budget and laying the foundation for a future bond. I know I've just discussed a lot of bills, but this just hits on the highlights of the most pressing bills that are in the legislature as we speak. In total, we are in formal support of 16 bills and opposed to 12, all of which are noted in your agenda packet. While we've had many committee hearings on a variety of legislative, budget, and policy topics, We also continue to push our broader system-wide priorities. As you heard yesterday, Chancellor Garcia has been in Sacramento quite a bit, and one effort that I will reinforce is the CSU Legislators Delegation Roundtable discussion, which happened in April. Many legislators attended, and many of those legislators that attended have shown clear engagement in higher education issues and intersegmental bills that are included in your board packet. And as you heard yesterday, Chancellor Garcia has also taken part in many panels with the leaders of the UC and community college systems. And those panels and events have been hosted by a number of key legislators, and topics often veered into state policy. And we are looking forward to next week's Trustee Advocacy Day and have meetings currently scheduled with 8 legislators for those of you who are coming up. The topics will be the state budget, the importance of funding our facilities needs, and some of the most critical bills that I noted earlier. Coordinated advocacy between ASR, the Budget Office, Strategic Communications, and our universities continue. And this includes the increased use of CSU Voices, which allows us to raise awareness on key issues and encourage the broader CSU community to engage with state and federal legislators. Recent CSU Voices topics have included the proposed affordable housing bond and federal financial aid. After one recent message that went out, 140 letters were sent to legislators about including the CSU in the affordable housing bond. And while it's not related to state advocacy, the Office of Federal Relations recently hosted Hill Day in mid-April, where all 22 universities were represented, and which included a focus on preserving the Pell Grant program amidst significant budget shortfall concerns. And I can assure you that our collective and aligned work will continue throughout the next many months. And finally, just so you're aware of the upcoming legislative calendar, next week the governor will release the May revision to the state budget, and additionally, both the Assembly and Senate will have their Appropriations Committee deadlines, after which we'll begin our work on the fiscal impact report on the bills that are still moving through the legislature. June 15th is the state budget deadline, and later that month there is the House of Origin deadline in the legislature, followed by summer recess. The session will end on August 31st, and the governor will have a month to sign or veto any bills. And with that, I want to thank you for your time and hand it back to Vice Chancellor Sachs.
Thank you, Nathan, very, very much for sharing information about those legislative issues and for the update on our work in Sacramento. As you can tell, it's been a very, very busy year, and it will continue that way. So this concludes our report, and we'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Any discussion? Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jack.
I defer to you.
Well, thank you, Jack. No, I just briefly, Nathan, I want to thank you for the work you've been doing, corralling all of the bills that have, around the different degrees and nursing and all that sort of thing. And while it's still a hot topic and a persistent topic, which is really, even if you pull it down, may jump up again. I think that you made great strides in getting shifting the arguments. It's not just that we're protecting, is that there are really valid concerns about this, and the notion of a larger conversation, which I do believe actually is taking hold. I've heard it myself. There have been conversations already among certain parties about we gotta step back and really think about this differently. So I want to just thank you for that, and I also want to thank the presidents for their advocacy, because it really helps for them to hear from your all perspective and locally what's important and what's not. So, and everybody obviously, but I just wanted at this point to say thank you.
Thank you very much. I actually do want to call out the Vice Chancellor Gonzalez, who's been a fantastic partner in not only spending a lot of time in Sacramento, but also being able to make connections with our community college partners in ways that maybe we haven't as much in the past.
Yeah, just two items. One is, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, the general obligation bond. It's hard for me to believe we don't get any significant response up there. And I keep on hearing, and you guys do a great job, Nathan and Greg. I mean, I think one of the reasons we're successful this year is the efforts that you're putting in on the ground up there. But I keep on hearing we don't poll well. We could run an amazing campaign statewide. We have 4 million alumni. I mean, nobody has a nucleus of voters like we do.
4.6, Jack.
Pardon me?
4.6, I just want to.
Thank you, Mr. Alumni Trustee. 4.6. But nobody has a nucleus of voters like that. I mean, we ran a statewide campaign, so when I hear this polling thing, I think it's BS, okay? And I'm more than welcome, I'm more than happy to go up there and have that conversation again like we did 2 years ago. We should be on there, and our campuses, our physical plants, the quality of our students and our faculty is unbelievable. The quality of our physical plant is a D-. And somehow we are not convincing the folks in the Assembly and the Senate that this is a serious crisis that we're facing. And we just got to figure out a different message somehow. And I know Alvarez, Assemblymember Alvarez, has got this open-ended bill, but the housing thing is great, but it's not the answer to the problem. I mean, we can do housing, we can do P3, we can do a lot of things with housing, but the basic plan itself is broken, and we need to fix it.
We hear you on that, and we were heartened by many of the comments legislators made during budget hearings and policy hearings about our facilities and the need to improve them, and we got to keep turning that into action to make the progress we need to make at our campuses.
And the only other one I have is AB 1552 by Assemblymember Jackson about civic engagement. I think we need to look long-term at what we're doing in terms of the curriculum. One of the problems, I think, in this country is that people don't understand that we actually have a constitution and that we have a democracy. And I don't think it's taught well. If you listen to the tribal arguments back and forth between the parties, they don't understand that we have a constitution. They don't understand checks and balances. One thing that was always drummed into us in the military, your allegiance isn't to the president or the Senate or the House of Representatives. Your allegiance is to the Constitution and the United States. And somehow we've got to get back to that. The parties are not that significant in comparison with the overall democracy that we live in, and defending it and making sure it continues. And one way to do that, and I know there's a guy named Richard Haas who used to head up the Foreign Affairs Institute in Washington. He's on this mission, and he's already met with the governor to get a civics course mandated as a senior in high school or as a freshman in college. And I know I've raised this before, and somebody in the education forum here said, "Oh, it's one of the options you can take in the list of GE requirements." It has to be mandated. They gave the test, the immigration test, the 50 questions to become a naturalized citizen, to seniors in 50 states. 49 states failed the immigration test. Only one state passed, Vermont. I mean, the kids coming through are not understanding what it means to be an American. And we should take a leadership role on this, support this bill, and make it mandatory across California in high schools to take a course in civics, or if they don't, to make sure it's mandated as a freshman in the CSU.
Thank you.
Trustee Galaducci.
I just want to follow up on Jack's comments because it's a little frustrating on this bond issue. I think that Jack's 100% correct. Either we establish a very focused strategy for going after this, or we continue to be sort of casual observers, or let's see what we can get out of this whole thing. This is now the third year, I think we've talked about this particular issue, and we've said each and every year we need to be more focused, more aggressive on trying to get a bond. Now we're in another year, and what I'm hearing is we're going to wait until next year. And so I think the board needs to take a very specific, focused effort on this. We need to make a campaign, and we need to go for it. And that means wrapping around our legislators and making sure they understand that having a multi-billion-dollar deferred, deficit is not helping anyone. And so I think we need to be really more focused on this particular topic. And so, because I just don't want to hear again, we're just going to be an observer again this year.
Thank you very much. And to be clear, it's not it's not dead. I mean, we're still working with the author and everything else. I think where we are spending time, in addition to going down this bond path with the author, is looking at one-time dollars and other types of things that might be coming out. So we're going multiple paths, because you're absolutely correct. The deferred maintenance piece that we have collectively is just way too overwhelming. So thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Gilbert-Louis?
I agree entirely with the comments that were made, and it was infuriating even 2 years ago hearing the ambivalence. But is there any way we could do our own work in the meantime in terms of our 4.6 million alumni? Why can't we do our own polling to show the support for a bond?
I'll share, we have done polling, not in recent weeks or months, but in the past with the UC system, because they're in the same boat as us on trying to raise the capital for this. And we will definitely go back and consider our options, and also with our partners.
Yeah, and we're not exactly in the same boat as UC, so I mean, that's why it might be helpful to have our own polling with our own voters too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chair Clark.
Just really quick. I'd like at the next board meeting, as I head out the door, you said that we did polling in the past. Would you report to the board when we did it, how we did it, what the outcome was, and this would be for the next meeting, what the outcome was, and then I'm hearing from the board that there's great interest in this issue, and Chancellor and Vice Chancellor Sachs, if you all could give some more substance to the board in terms of actually moving this forward in the next year, I'm hearing a real consensus that there's something to be done this year.
Absolutely. We'll work on that.
Vice Chair Rambulat.
Huge appreciation for all of the work you all are doing and the thoroughness. I want to go back to something that Julia had raised, which is the number of bills that are addressing in some way, shape, or form, what is our positioning within the state? What role are we playing? How are we partnering with our community colleges? What do we do versus them? On the other side, we're seeing some around offering PhDs. And so I just think there's a big need for us to support you all by just getting tighter there. And the last piece I'll say, couldn't agree more on the bonding issue. I'm glad to hear that we'll be coming back to this quickly. And thank you, Junius, for the work you're doing on the academic side, reaching out to our community college partners. I do wonder, as they have bonding dollars today, whether actually one of the creative solutions we might want to begin pursuing that isn't that, look, we still need to pursue a legislative solution and get our own bonding dollars. But through some of these partnerships, there might be an opportunity to use community college bonding dollars on CSU campuses in ways that are meeting our needs and theirs. And so would love for us just to get creative in that way too. And Patrick, I saw you come off.
And if I may, clearly that was a priority in recognizing that we have gone 20 years without being included in a statewide general obligation bond. So my priority in coming to this position was, what kind of concerted efforts can we make on our own? We can't wait around. Even if we're on a November bond, by the time they go to bond sale, it's going to be at least a year, if not year and a half from now, before we actually have funding to address facility projects. So we have collaborative efforts. San Diego is doing a collaborative effort with their local community college district, and the district is providing that local bonding authority for their Mission Valley site. We are encouraging campuses to pursue these efforts with every single community college district, particularly those who have recently passed very significant bonds. I think my recollection on the San Diego bond it was something like $3.5 billion. $3.5 billion. Think what we could do with $3.5 billion.
That's their third one.
Their third one, that's correct. But we've also been proactive in including a recommendation that you have supported in the budget. At this point, $25 million. I hope we can make that $50 million to go to utilize that for debt service to generate over $600 million in revenue to address some of our facility needs. So we are taking action. But it pales by comparison what the need is.
Such great conversation. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for just being so in tune, what is so crucial for our system. At the same time, there's 8 of us, going up to the state capitol. Is it next week? Yes, we're going next week. So we're going to continue with these voices when we meet with our legislature, which is going to be really important. So I really appreciate that. Chair Clark, this concludes the business of the Committee on Government Relations.
Thank you very much, Trustee Rodriguez. We're going to go into plenary session momentarily. I do want to give people a 5-minute comfort break, and then we'll come back and finish out the day. We're making very good time.
Fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest four-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of three categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest four-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of three categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year...
Meeting of the Board of Trustees of the California State University, please come to order. Ms. Coral, would you please call the roll? Oops.
What she said. Trustee Adamson.
Still here.
Vice Chair Rambula.
Here.
Trustee Brar. Here. Chair Clark.
Present.
Trustee Dermody. Trustee Evans. Trustee Fajardo.
Present.
Trustee Fong.
Here.
Chancellor Garcia.
Here.
Trustee Ghilarducci. Trustee Gilbert-Lori.
Here.
Trustee Wajardo.
Here.
Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis. Trustee Lopez.
Here.
Trustee McGrory.
Here.
Trustee Nejabat. Governor Newsom. Speaker Rivas. Trustee Rodriguez.
Here.
Superintendent Thurmond. Trustee Melikar.
Here.
Trustee Ghilarducci.
Here.
Chair Clark, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Before we move forward with our agenda, I'd like to begin with our last university highlight video for this meeting. This one from San Jose State showcases how the university is embracing emerging technologies to give students hands-on experience and opportunities to innovate right in the heart of Silicon Valley. Please roll the video.
At San Jose State, emerging technologies are shaping how students learn, create, and lead. At Silicon Valley's public university, SJSU is a living lab where students, faculty, and staff work together to test ideas that shape the future.
So what we're doing at San Jose State, we're gathering the technology and putting it in the hands of the students here and seeing what they can come up with.
Here, technology is never separate from people. Faculty and staff guide students as they explore what's possible and what's responsible.
It's very important that we are forward-thinking about emerging technology. We embrace it, we understand how it works, how we can use it to ultimately maximize utility in society and minimize harm.
Our faculty and staff aren't gatekeepers. They're facilitators, providing access, structure, and real-world experience that prepare students to lead.
We have workshops here where we teach people how to build an AR and VR and AI. It decreases the digital divide.
Students take ideas from concept to reality, supported by the resources, mentorship, and trust to build something new.
Aviation has a simulator. It's like a big, cool room, but it's limited on how many people can go in there and experience it. So one of my students, Kyle, created a portable aviation simulator kit that fits right into a Pelican case. Comes with a VR and everything's pre-programmed.
We're creating immersive learning experiences.
Working with a geology professor, she goes out into the world and does national parks where she does tours. And we're putting those into VR scenes with her annotations too, so people can actually feel like they're going there.
We're solving real campus challenges.
We were inspired to create this advising chatbot framework to alleviate the amount of workload on these simple questions us students have for advisors. Computing and technology isn't just for computer scientists or AI engineers. Here, it's really capitalized that we bring in humanities, that we bring in art, that we bring in business students. We are really building things here that replicate what it would be like at a real company with all these different perspectives and backgrounds.
We're giving students the opportunity to come up with these ideas and ideate on them and kind of prototype them and see where they go. We're bringing industry from all across the Silicon Valley. They're learning how to do program management. They're learning timelines, giving students that real world experience of what it's actually like to be out in the tech industry.
At San Jose State University, this is what the future looks like when faculty, staff, and students build it together.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you to the team at San Jose State for that inspiring video. Seeing work like this fills me with excitement for the next generation of students we're supporting and for the future we're building together. This brings my time sharing these university videos as chair to a close, and what a meaningful run it's been. I'm so proud of the work our campus communities carry out every day, and I'm genuinely loved seeing these stories brought to life via video for the past 2 years. And I offer my sincere gratitude to the university and system-wide creative teams for all your excellent work in conceiving, recording, and editing these videos, and for telling these incredible stories. With that, it's now time for the board to consider today's consent agenda. Does any trustee wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? If not, may I have a motion to approve the items listed on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further questions or comments? If not, I believe we don't need a roll call today. Is that correct? Correct? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. The consent agenda is approved. The board has 3 action items on today's discussion agenda. The first action item is the approval of the Board of Trustees Standing Committee assignments for 26-27. This item will be presented by Trustee Rodriguez, Chair of the Committee on Committees. Trustee Rodriguez, would you please begin?
Thank you so much, Chair Clark. The Committee on Committees met on April 20th to review the proposed slate of committee assignments, including committee chairs and vice chairs. for 2026-27. The committee assignments were developed with appropriate consideration of trustees' preferences and adherence with the criteria collectively identified and approved by the board, as listed in our governing rules. The committee approved the proposed standing committee assignments and recommends approval by the full board.
Thank you, Trustee Rodriguez. The approval of the Board of Trustees Standing Committee assignments for 26-27 is an action item before the board. Before we proceed with any questions or discussion on this item, may I have a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Is there a second? Got it. Oh, I heard that. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Comment, yes.
Yes, thank you. So
Trustee Guajardo.
Thank you so much. So I have a comment and a recommendation. So I'm excited for the recommended assignments, and I want to acknowledge and highlight Trustee Fajardo, who is being recommended to chair the Institutional Advancement Committee. And we believe he may be the first student trustee. So I just want to congratulate Trustee Fajardo. And I am so proud to see where our system is heading and uplifting our student trustees. And additionally, I have a recommendation for our committees to develop transition processes through meetings, materials, and onboarding in between the previous committee chairs and vice chairs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Guajardo. Any further comment? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? The motion passes. And now, I will introduce our next action item with a note of deep appreciation for this moment of transition. The election of the chair and vice chair of the Board of Trustees for 26-27. This item will once again be presented by Trustee Rodriguez, Chair of the Committee on Committees.
Thank you so much, Chair Clark. Also, at its April 20th meeting, the Committee on Committees approved the proposed resolution nominating Trustee Arambula to serve as board chair and Trustee Raji Brar to serve as board vice chair. But before we proceed, I want to take a moment to recognize Chair Clark for your exceptional leadership and your steadfast service, sir. I appreciate you so much. Over the last 2 years, I can tell you, you have been such an incredible example to me and to all of us and what it means to be a dedicated person on this board. And we really appreciate you. Vice Chair Arambula. Wow, friend, you have big shoes to fill. But we know that you're up to the task. Thank you both for your significant contributions to this board. The committee recommends approval by the full board.
Thank you very much, Trustee Rodriguez. The approval of the election of the chair and vice chair of the Board of Trustees for 26-27 is an action item before the board. Before we proceed with questions or discussion of this item, may I have a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Second.
Motions in second. Is there any discussion? I just want this thing to move forward. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? None. Any abstention? None. It passes.
Congratulations.
I would very much like to extend my sincere and extremely enthusiastic congratulations to Trustees Arambula and Brar for their election. To say I'm confident your leadership will bring great value to both the board and the CSU would be a woeful understatement. I have absolutely no doubt that the CSU will be a more vital and effective institution for your service. And thank you to our Committee on Committees and to all of my colleagues who have graciously agreed to serve on the board's standing committees for the year. We are almost done. We're going to do conferrals now.
Yes, sir.
And if we could do them up at the podium, I think would be the best thing. I will start. With the business of the day almost complete, it is now time to honor and celebrate the dedicated service of one of our extraordinary colleagues who is moving on to a new chapter. Chancellor Garcia, would you please join me at the podium? I will introduce the conferral, invite Chancellor Garcia to say a few words, call for a motion to approve the action, and then invite our honoree to provide brief remarks. Our final action item is a conferral of Vice Chancellor Emeritus on G. Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones' service to the CSU is truly extraordinary, not only for its length, more than 25 years, but also for the remarkable variety of roles Andy has fulfilled for these years. But while he has served in numerous roles, the excellence of his work and its consequential impact, as well as his heart for the CSU's mission and students, has always remained constant, and has been apparent to all of those who have had the pleasure of serving with him. Chancellor Garcia, would you please share a few comments?
Thank you, Chair Clark. Made in the CSU. There's so much pride contained within those few words. Pride in our universities, in our faculty and staff who are so deeply committed to student success. Pride in our students determined to overcome any challenge that might stand between them and their dreams. And pride, of course, in our alumni who now number more than 4.6 million people and make such extraordinary contributions to our communities, our state, and our world. It is to us our good fortune that many of those alumni, like Andrew Jones, led their talents and expertise to the very system that nurtured them, helping prepare the next generation of graduates proudly made in the CSU. For more than 25 years, Andy has capably and with great distinction served the CSU, reinvesting the skills and knowledge he gained through a bachelor's degree for Cal State Long Beach, as well as a Juris Doctor from UC Davis. For most of those 25 years, Andy has been an integral member of the Office of General Counsel, lending the office after his appointment as Executive Vice Chancellor and General Counsel in 2018. In that role, he has also served as the Secretary of the Board of Trustees, contributing his expertise to many issues of board governance and leadership over the years. Andy has also held the role of Deputy General Counsel, a team leader for OGC's business and finance team, counsel for various CSU campuses, and for 15 years, he was the Assistant Secretary of the Board of Trustees before being appointed Secretary. He has also served for almost a year as the Interim Vice Chancellor of System-Wide Human Resources. That's an extraordinary breadth of service. But it's in the depth of his service where you'll find the real impact Andy has had on this system, whether it was navigating uncharted legal waters during the pandemic, advising the board during significant leadership transitions, providing advice on numerous complicated and novel legal issues, including those related to the integration of Cal Maritime and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. It's also establishing a team of dedicated civil rights attorneys to address Title IX and other civil rights issues during a time of reckoning. We could be here on and on. Too many to list here. But then last summer, Andrew's career path took a turn. Actually, it might be better described as a full circle turn. He stepped up, as he always does, to serve as acting president of his beloved alma mater. At the beach, he seamlessly integrated into the campus community, played a critical role in maintaining a campus culture during a time of transition, and was integral in helping to secure 2 transformative philanthropic gifts that will positively impact the university for a generation. Andy, thank you, mil gracias, for your outstanding leadership and wise counsel. Thank you for all that you have done for the CSU. You personify what it means to be made in the CSU. Your legacy is secure, and you will be missed by all who have had the pleasure of working with you. We all wish you and Elizabeth much joy and happiness in the next chapter of your life's journey. With that, Chair Clark, I turn it back to you.
Thank you, Chancellor. The conferral of title Executive Vice Chancellor and General Counsel Emeritus on G. Andrew Jones is an action item before the board. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
There are no objections. There are no abstentions. The motion is approved.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Chancellor Garcia. Thank you, Chair Clark, for those very kind words. Hearing that, I couldn't help but think about where all this started and about how unlikely this journey would have seemed to the person I was when I first arrived to Cal State Long Beach as a student. The CSU has not just been my professional home for nearly 26 years, it's the institution that gave me my start and set me on my life's trajectory. As you heard, like so many of our students, I was first generation. I was the youngest of 3. No one in my family had gone to college. I didn't really understand how to apply. I didn't know how financial aid worked. But I knew that Cal State Long Beach was in my hometown, and I knew it was accessible and affordable, and I knew that it was welcoming. And so I chose it. And that turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life. I was not only fortunate to have the beach in my backyard, I was fortunate to discover its secret sauce early on. Unlike some of my friends who are attending college elsewhere, my classes were taught by actual faculty who were not just experts in their field, but who cared deeply about their students. And one of those in particular changed my life. Dr. Barbara George saw something in me that I did not yet see in myself. She took an interest, she invested her time, and she inspired me and encouraged me to go to law school. Years later, when I became disenchanted with private practice, she inspired me again, and this time to find a way to use my legal training in service of the CSU. And that changed my life all over again. Because of her and because of this institution, I've had the most extraordinary 26-year journey. Because this work matters. What we do, creating access to high-quality, affordable education, is not just important, it's transformative. It's been an incredible privilege to be a part of that mission. And along the way, I've had the opportunity to work with so many remarkable people. To my Chancellor's office and CSU colleagues, thank you for your partnership, your friendship, your shared commitment to this work. Please know how much you've meant to me. It's been an honor to work with all of you. To the incredible attorneys and support staff in the Office of General Counsel, you are sometimes underappreciated, but you are frequently the heroes behind the scenes. I know, and everyone should know, that you are an extraordinary world-class team. Your skill, your dedication, your professionalism, and your commitment to this institution are unmatched. To my management team, Dawn, Sue, Carrie, Mark, Stephen, Monique, Kathy, in December, yes, we had a big management team. We shared victories, we navigated challenges, and we walked through more than a few fires together, and there's no team I would have rather had by my side. Special thank you to my former deputies, Leora and Don. You are my trusted partners and my anchors through it all, and I am forever grateful. And it gives me enormous comfort knowing that the OGC is in Don's capable hands. And to Dr. December Bolden, my confidant, my sounding board, my friend, and truly the glue that holds everything in the OGC together, Thank you for smoothing out the rough spots and making this journey so wonderful. To our presidents, you are, without question, the best clients a general counsel could ever hope for. Your leadership, your resilience, your unwavering commitment to our students, especially in the most challenging moments, are nothing short of inspiring. And thank you for welcoming me into your club this past academic year. I was proud to have that capstone experience with all of you. To the trustees, past and present, thank you for your trust and your steadfast commitment to this remarkable system. It's been a privilege to serve as your counsel. And most recently, to my friends and colleagues at Cal State Long Beach, what an unexpected pleasure it has been to work with all of you during this academic year. You welcomed me with open arms and open hearts, and you reminded me every single day why the beach is so special. Your commitment to students, your pride in the beach, and your sense of community that you've built there are truly extraordinary. It didn't take long for me to feel not just like I was a colleague, but like I was home again, and I'll always treasure my time with you. And finally, to my family, to my daughters, Catherine and Emma, you are my greatest pride and my greatest inspiration, and you give me tremendous hope for the future. And to my wonderful wife and partner in everything, Elizabeth, thank you for your support, your patience, and for being at my side throughout this entire journey. You are the love of my life, and I'm so excited for what comes next. So I leave with gratitude for the opportunities, for the people, and for a career that has meant more than I could have imagined. I will always carry the CSU with me. What we do here truly matters. We open doors, we change lives, we create futures that might not otherwise be possible. Thank you for letting me be a part of that mission. It's been an honor and the privilege of a lifetime. And I would be remiss if I did not end with, go Beach. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will be giving this. Okay? Would you like a Elizabeth? Yes, please. Partner in crime. Congratulations again. Thank you, Andy. So well deserved. On that note, the business of the May 2026 meeting of the Board of Trustees is almost concluded. I want to again express my gratitude to my board colleagues for your hard work and dedication over the past 3 days. On behalf of the entire board, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to the CSU class of 2026 celebrating their commencement this spring, and my deep appreciation to the faculty, staff, and campus leaders who continue to guide our students to reach full promise and potential. The board will reconvene for the next Board of Trustees meeting on July 20th, 21st, and 22nd of 2026. Notice of the meeting will go out in the ordinary course 10 days in advance of the meeting. But before we close, I'd like to take a moment to echo what I shared in my report yesterday. It's been a true honor to serve as chair of this board and to help advance the CSU's mission. I am truly grateful to each and every one of you. I also want to acknowledge my family who's here. My wife, Sheila, my daughter, China, and my son, Jack III. Would you please give them a round of applause? So while this meeting comes to a close, it also signals a new beginning. And Chair-elect Arambula, would you please come up here for a moment? I can't imagine anyone better suited to lead this forward, and I have all the confidence in the world that you're going to be outstanding. You're brilliant, you ask the right questions, you challenge the right assumptions, and you do all of it with the grace and intentionality that commands both respect and trust. Your leadership is going to be steady, visionary, and deeply human, exactly what this calls for. You understand that leadership is not about title, it's about lifting up others. And that about you, I appreciate the more. I am certain you'll propel the CSU to even greater heights, and I have absolutely no doubt the system, its students, and those who believe in the transformative power of public education are fortunate to have you at the helm. It's with deep gratitude and a full heart I will pass on this gavel to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the best is yet to come. Thank you, and we're adjourned.
To succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication, CSU trustee Wenda Fong and her husband Daniel Federle last year launched the first system-wide staff award. Our staff are the heart and backbone of the CSU, Trustee Fong says. The Trustee Wenda Fong and Mr. Daniel Federle Staff Award honors these heroes. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Individuals will receive $25,000 in each of 3 categories. One category is driving affordability. A second is fostering equity. A third category is first-generation belonging. And a fourth award of $25,000 will go to a group recognized for leadership and innovation. Congratulations to this year's inaugural honorees. More awardees will join them in the future, thanks to a 10-year funding commitment from Trustee Fong and Mr. Federle. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. The California State University is the largest 4-year public university in the country. We educate more than 470,000 students who are academically, ethnically, and economically diverse. Every year, over 123,000 of our students graduate, equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed in the workforce. Welcome to the live stream of the California State University Board of Trustees meeting. Please adjust your audio as needed. Student success is a core mission of the CSU. Key to that mission are the dedicated and often unsung and unseen efforts of CSU staff. In recognition of that dedication,